So, step one of my desertion plan is to hide out in this abandoned tower, but I'm not the first person to try this, so the king has ordered it closed. I did find a jumpable ledge, but my character pulled his hamstring in the Kakari Wilds, so how do I get up here? The solution lies in good old traps. As it turns out, traps in this game can be endlessly stacked upon each other and climb. So that's exactly what we do, and get into an otherwise forbidden area. Alright, now we enter the Tower of Ishal, also known as the 4 levels of friggin' hell. This place is an absolute nightmare for this run. Each level of the tower is swarming with enemies. So let's break down the strategy by each floor. So we begin in stealth, then take a very specific path, doing our best to avoid as many enemies as possible, because as long as there are enemies on the minimap, combat can never truly end. Eventually we'll reach the last room where 4 darkspawn are guarding the exit to the 2nd floor, making going up impossible. If only there was a way to move these enemies out of the room without killing them. Well, as it turns out, since we have stealth too, we can use poison grenades such as acid flasks in stealth without being caught. But how exactly does this solve our problem? Well, after using a grenade in stealth, enemies will investigate your last known location. So if we gather up all these darkspawn and lure them out of the room, then we can simply return, shut the door, wait for the combat trigger to end, then we can simply proceed to the 2nd floor without killing anything. The 2nd floor is the simplest of the bunch. There actually is a warp pipe that leads us straight to the end. Okay, that's not what's actually happening here. What is happening is that I get out of bounds using the trap glitch from earlier. Then by clicking over here, my character just teleports over, skipping all of the enemies. I probably should mention this is a speedrunning trick, and I didn't come up with it on my own, but regardless, we get to the 3rd floor without much trouble. The 3rd floor is probably the most annoying in terms of how much RNG is involved, because finally we have allies that come in the form of 3 dogs, which all suck. Because the AI for the dogs is terrible. They tend to break formation and get killed. This first encounter requires a lot of luck and finesse to get through properly. The strategy here is to simultaneously tank all the damage for the dogs and deal all the damage to the enemies without striking the final blow ourselves. When I finally succeeded from this first encounter, I could save and take things slowly until all the enemies on the floor were dead. Then I could finally move on to the next area. Now for the final floor. I wasn't able to find a way around killing the ogre, as disappointing as it is. Believe me, I tried. I even clipped out of bounds, and believe me, that's not easy with the ogre trying to kill you. But yeah, I ran around to see if something would happen, but nope. This is the first kill of the run, and in a sense, we have failed the challenge, unfortunately. But don't you worry, I'm still gonna go through the rest of the game, but yeah. Back to the story that I've totally been recapping properly. Our hero Logain, realizing that war is bad, withdraws his forces.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Fuck the king.
But fails to send someone to alert me, so I end up getting in a good old arrow to the knee. And when I awaken, oh my god, did I get laid? No way.